Sahana bhavatu, sahano bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Swamiji says there is no such thing as cosmic form. But Arjuna, Sanjaya say that they see it. Is it their hallucination? No, where he says, it's not a form. There's no such thing as cosmic form. Now, when he says there's no, if at all there is a statement that he had to make, there is no such thing as cosmic form. What he must be referring to is those verses where he is describing the form as no beginning, no end. Technically speaking, a form should have a beginning and an end. Right? With the boundary only, you can call something as a form. Something which has no beginning or an end, how can it have a form? Therefore, he says, there's no such thing as form, as we can understand as a form. Because all our understanding of form is, don't think, a form is not like, this batsman is in good form now. Surya Kumar Yadav is in good form. That form is different. Left. In that flow. He is in that free flow. Right. This Vishwarupa is like that of the form of a cricketer. The flow. See, so don't think as we understand as a particular image. It's not an image, it's a flow. More appropriate word would be the term, laya. Like in music, they say, that he saw it now. Arjuna saw, that's all. What he saw, he is describing. So, can we call it as hallucination, sir? No. It doesn't fit into the strict the definition of hallucination also. No, because hallucination is more of a purely personal. You cannot have hallucination for others also. Right? Now, Sanjaya is sitting somewhere else, Arjuna is sitting somewhere else. There's no connection. But Sanjaya also describes the form. Right? So, parallelly to, but both the fellows to have hallucination doesn't fit in to the definition of hallucination. Because I can hallucinate saying there is an elephant here. Right, that's possible. Now, all of us cannot be hallucinated to say that, unless I put in that effort to hallucinate you people. So we cannot call it as hallucination. Nor can we call it as form. It's neither form, like we understand the form, nor it is hallucination as we understand hallucination. Then what is it, sir? We don't know what is it. You can't actually understand what is it. This Vishwarupa. Don't try to comprehend. Comprehension of this Vishwarupa is not going to help you in anything. Right? Don't try to intellectualize and say, because if you try to intellectualize, you will say it is not form. Then what is it? Is it hallucination? It's not hallucination. Then what is it? You'll go into blackness. See, so don't attempt like that. But generally, picturization of this happens to most of us as though it's a form. See, that's why it's called Maya. It is as though there, but at the same time, it's not there. Comprehend it, it's not. That is why, with the ordinary eyes, ordinary perception is not sufficient. That's why Krishna gave him a special chakshu, the divya chakshu he gave. So to see that Vishwarupa, you need what? Divya chakshu. Ordinary chakshu won't do. From jnana chakshu also, this will not be there. For the one who has the jnana chakshu, to him, Vishwarupa is what? There's no Vishwarupa for him. For the ordinary chakshu, there is no Vishwarupa possible. For jnana chakshu also, there is no Vishwarupa. Then who gets that? Divya chakshu if you have. Can you cultivate a divya chakshu? That is not possible. It has to be bestowed upon you. It should be given to you by somebody. Then you can see it. The person should have the capacity to give it. So if they give it, you can see. Otherwise, you cannot see. It's like the 3D TV. You remember? Years back, technology became so big, so big, so big. They say they introduced the 3-dimensional TV. Right. LED and all that came, LCD to LED and all that, from the tube to this, all that, and then it came the 3D TV. But it's a failure. Why?
Everyone can see the glass.
Every time you wanted to see, you have to put on the glass. Only then you can see. Otherwise, you can't see anything there. Everything is blurred. You need that. Has to be there. And if another 2 more fellows come to the house now, you can't watch the TV. Why? You can't share, no. 2 minutes you give it to me, 2 minutes you give it to me now. The football match is going, how can you watch? It's fantastic to see, football match in 3D. But then 2 glasses they will give when you buy the TV. Probably you can take another 2 more glasses, extra you can order. Accessories, sir. But there's a party in the house, people want to watch that. Then what happens? And the experience that you will have, the 3-dimensional impact that you get out of the TV and from the theater is not the same. That's why even though people who were seeing that, because I've seen that in the fellow's house, they had 3D TV. They had ordinary also. This also they got in their one of the rooms. They had that. So whenever they want to watch something in the 3D, they'll come here and watch it. So I was sitting there and I was watching, and I got really bored. And I said, how many times you guys use it? Very rare. I said, then why you got it? He wanted it. The boy wanted it. So the fellow got that and kept it in his room. So he keeps, watching that. That's about it. And I asked that boy, this is the same experience. I'm not able to feel the same. He watched that Avatar. movie, Avatar movie, that first one, the house. Yeah, it's not like what it was in the theater, no. It's that experience you will not get here. The failure. That's why it's a failure. Because of these two major reasons. You cannot. You need the 3D glass for you to experience it. Without that, can you see? Not possible. So, with the naked eye, it is not possible. The fellow who has a jnana chakshu will not see that form and all that. He will see himself as Vishwarupa. It's not that he'll be standing apart and watching that Vishwarupa. He becomes the Vishwarupa. He becomes the Vishnu. So that is not possible for him. So he says that idea of hallucination is also not correct. Idea of form is also not correct. So it's neither. Then what is it, sir? I don't know. But I know this is not right. Then what is it? Description was given. That's all it is. He sees that. So when he saw that form, first Arjuna enjoyed that form. He appreciated that form and appreciated. Slowly the form present started giving him fear. And that fear, out of that fear, devotion came and he surrendered. Right. Up to this point we have seen. After that, what is he doing is the catch. See, remember this 11th chapter has an important message. Right. This is the catch. If at all you wanted to understand this 11th chapter's context in the spiritual path, follow these two verses carefully. So he saw the form, he wanted the form. Remember, in the beginning of the chapter, Arjuna wanted to see that Vishwarupa, and Krishna said, you cannot watch it with the naked eye. I'll give you the Divya Chakshu. With that, you can watch. He gave the Divya Chakshu. With the Divya Chakshu, he saw and he started enjoying that form. It was so exciting. And then slowly that excitement went away and he started experiencing fear. When fear came in, he surrendered. He fell at his feet. And then he starts asking all his pardon. Please forgive me for what I have done. I had spoken to you like this. I had, did this to you, did that to you and all that. And you are such a great man. And the mark of a great man is what? To forgive. Otherwise, why he is praising him, why he is saying, I seek your grace. You should bear with me as father, as friend, as lover, all drama. And saying, you're such a great man and all that. He is praising him. You are infinite source. You are the primeval God. You are this. Understood is what? You are a good fellow. When somebody comes and asks for forgiveness, what are you supposed to do? Supposed to forgive. So he is not giving any opportunity for Krishna. Right? Diplomatic fellow, no? Diplomatic training he has got. Royalty. So he's a king. So he has a training of diplomacy. So he says, like, father, son, you forgive me. And of course, you can interpret it. There are various ways of looking at it, but that's not the catch. The essential thing is the climax is coming now. All built up only so far. The climax is coming now. 45.
अदृष्टपूर्वं हृषितोऽस्मि दृष्ट्वा भयेन च प्रव्यथितं मनो मे तदेव मे दर्शय देवरूपम् प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास अदृष्टपूर्वं हृषितोऽस्मि दृष्ट्वा भयेन च प्रव्यथितं मनो मे तदेव मे दर्शय देवरूपम् प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास.
Having seen what was not seen before, I am delighted. Yet my mind is distressed with fear. Show me, O God, that form only. Have mercy, O God of gods, O abode of the universe. Manandaji used to say, beautiful interpretation you give for this verse. All that Arjuna is saying is, what is cosmic form? Vishwarupa. North Indian pickle. North Indian pickle. What is North Indian pickle? Sweet and spice. This is a North Indian pickle. South Indian pickle pure. Andhra pickle, na pickle. Pure spice. Right. This North Indian pickle, Gujarati pickle, precisely, Guju pickle, they prepare. It is sweet and spice. That's what he says, you'll say. It laughs, it's an amazing comparison. I am delighted, yet I am distressed. How can you be delighted and distressed together? Gujarati pickle. Distressed now. Show me, O God, that form. Having seen what was not seen before. Why? You have to add that. Having seen what was not seen before. I am delighted. What was not seen before by anybody. Which means what? Privileged. I am the only fellow, who is privileged to have that. That ego is there. You see, that's the tone here. What was not seen before. Not by Arjuna. Now, many people take it as, seen by Arjuna. No, that's not the implication here. The implication here is nobody has seen this cosmic form. But I have got the special entry, special quota, sports quota. He got into this by through sports quota. I got it. I am delighted. I am so happy. I got the entry. Like many fellows, they join. So that in the third year, they buckle. They collapse. I've seen many of them, at least to my knowledge, I know about 3-4 cases. They join a course in the quota. They join, but then, that intensity of study demands too much. In the third year, they drop out. Management quota, this quota, they buy, seats. They just drop out. Like in Stanford and all that, that's what they do. You can buy a seat.
Yeah.
But then, if you don't get that required percentage in the first, semester, all that, they'll chuck you out. And then these people say, I did discontinue. You didn't discontinue, they throw you out. There's a difference. Many people you will see that. Those who have enough money to buy, seats can buy that. But then once they go there, this possibility is not. So he says, I am delighted. I got excited. But after a point, I started fearing the very same form. Now we ask that question, why he wanted that and Krishna agreed, yielded to his demand, right? And then he is excited. That's the point, he says. Initially, he was excited and delighted, no doubt about it. But then that delight slowly turned into distress. Therefore, what now? Therefore, show me that form only. Which form? He's going to describe in the next verse. 46, he is going to give the description. Show me that form, the old form, which means take back this Vishwarupa. I don't want to see this Vishwarupa anymore, which means I don't want this Divya Chakshu. Exactly, correct. I don't want that Divya Chakshu, he says. I don't want the seat. Take it back. What is the lesson here? Most important lesson to learn in spiritual path. Never ever overstep. Invariably, when you overstep, first reaction inside will be delight. Cannot sustain. Then what you will do? You will have to trace your steps back. See, you never overstep. That's the catch here. Message what you see in this 11th chapter. Central message of 11th chapter for a seeker is not Vishwarupa. Not whether this one or all. Critical one here is to understand this idea. Never overstep. Never overstep. Don't do that. Now, overstepping means what, sir? Doing something beyond your capacity. What all the things that you can do beyond your capacity, don't worry, he's giving the list. Right? Krishna gives a list. Superb advice he gives. But the message is this. The message of this is seeing all the sequence. And then finally, he gets that bhakti bhavana, he surrenders to that form. After surrendering to the form, what is he supposed to do?
Stay with the form.
Stay with it. He should say that, I would love to be with you. Isn't it? Padiyai kadandu un paadavai kanpeno his. All that I just want to be what? I just want to be that stone slab under your feet. I can keep looking at your form. Let me be that slab he is asking. That is the bhakta. This fellow says what? Please take it back, enough. That means what? Arjuna overstepped. And if you overstep, remember, this phases will definitely happen. What is the phase? First experience of yours will be maja. It will be superb. Over a period of time, what will happen? That very same will start giving you fear. It will become fear in the sense, it will start agitating you. That which gave you delight will become a pain to you after a point. Yes. Then what you have to do? By default, you will have to trace your steps back. Then where will you go back to your own point? So what have we been doing all the time? merry-go-round.
Around in circles.
They do, no? In the horse. What they call that? The horse, they'll go, fine, he'll go. Merry-go-round, no, that is. Merry-go-round. He'll go, he'll go round, and then get down, same place. He'll drop you in the same place. Then where did you go? What did you do? Nothing. This is exactly what happens to people like Arjuna. And we are taking him as a representative of all of us. So what are we doing, sir? We are also doing the same thing. So therefore, the warning given by the Bhagavad Gita is by Arjuna seeing that Vishwarupa, what of it to you and me? Huh? Arjuna saw the Vishwarupa, Arjuna surrendered to the Vishwarupa, Arjuna got impressed by the Vishwarupa, Arjuna saw this, Arjuna saw that, Sanjaya saw that, he saw that, who cares? What of it to you and me today to study, man? Remember, this chapter is done as Parayanam by people. 11th chapter is done as Parayana. People do that on a daily basis. Why do you do that on a daily basis? Few chapters were taken for that purpose. 11th chapter is one. You will not find people doing, 3rd chapter Parayanam. It will not be done. But the, 6th chapter Parayana, people don't do. But you will find people doing that 15th chapter, 11th chapter, 12th chapter. Now, why this 11th chapter was chosen to do as Parayana? Means daily memorization, everyday memorization. Why do you have to keep repeating it every day? Because of this message. 11th chapter gives us a very, very important spiritual guidance message. That is, never overstep. If you overstep, you have to trace your steps back. Okay. We'll deal with it a little more. Okay, right now I'll just come back to the verse. Right. So this is the message. Central message is that you keep that in the mind. Now coming back to the verse. Having seen what was not seen before, I am delighted. Yet my mind is distressed with fear. Show me, O God, that form only, have mercy, O God of gods. Devesha, Lord of the Devas. Isha means God, Lord. So you are the God of gods. Not only that, Jagannivasa. This entire universe is residing in you. You are such a big man. That's what he's saying. So therefore, have mercy. You better have mercy. That's all implications here. So from that universal form, he is asking Krishna to go back to his old form, original form. What is that? He is describing 46.
किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रहस्तम् इच्छामि त्वां द्रष्टुमहं तथैव तेनैव रूपेण चतुर्भुजेन सहस्रबाहो भव विश्वमूर्ते किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रहस्तम् इच्छामि त्वां द्रष्टुमहं तथैव तेनैव रूपेण चतुर्भुजेन सहस्रबाहो भव विश्वमूर्ते.
I wish to see you as before, crowned, wearing a mace, with disc in the hand, in that same four-armed form, O thousand-armed, O universal form, Show me that form, man. I don't want this form. I want to see you in your old form, Chaturbuja. That also he describes. Costume not describe. Which just in case, he ensures don't show me your mouth. Okay. Close your mouth and show your hands and your krita. I don't know why he has to refer to krita now. There's no connection. No. Crowd, krita. With the crowd you come. Yeah. So if he comes without crowd, what difference does it make? The crowd one. Enaiva rupena chaturbuje. This is the problem. A lot of people. There's a huge commentary school now based on this analysis. Whether Krishna lived with 2 arms or 4 arms. Tanda. Because Arjuna very clearly said, Ena eva rupena chaturbujena. That very same form as before. Which means, before the universal form, how Krishna was standing is what he is asking. So how Krishna was standing earlier? With Chaturbhujena. So which means Krishna always had 4 arms. Have you ever seen, people have 6 fingers? Maybe Krishna had extra 2 hands.
Vishnu form.
Yeah, it is actually. But then this is not actually a Vishnu form he is describing here. Because the description is only with reference to the 2 hands. The other 2 hands he is not describing. One hand he is having the disc maze. Other 2 hands, what is he doing, sir? Holding the reins. What else he must be holding? One hand he must be holding the reins, the other hand he has the whip. Right? So he has those 2. So he is describing what? Other 2 hands you can have a mace and chakra. Arjuna, Krishna has already told these people that I am not going to fight in the battle. Then why he comes with the disc and chakra, the chakra and mace to the battlefield? Put it back, no. Put it as safe, man. Why do you carry that everywhere? You don't have to carry that everywhere. Put it inside, no. No, yes. Now, what you need to understand is, don't try to interpret. Remember, these verses are not meant for interpretation and analysis and all that, because Arjuna is simply speaking what? He's so scared, he's terrified. Right? Sitting here, we don't understand what it means and all that, but then he is really terrified seeing that. People go into this analysis. I've seen, there are commentaries where they go into that Chaturbhujena point of Chaturbhuja, and then why he is referring to this. What about the other 2? Vishnu means, see, Kiritanam, everybody has Kirita. Every god has Kirita, crown. Saraswati, you see, she also has. Only fellow who doesn't have is Shiva. Right. Yeah, because that fellow is sitting in the smashana, what Krita he will have. He is a sannyasi. Obviously, you will not have Krita. Correct. But others will have. Even Shiva, when he came as Sundareswara in Madurai, you go and say he has Krita. Krita is nothing peculiar to only Krishna or only to Vishnu. Krita is there for every god. Every god has Krita. Of course, Gata and Chakra is his peculiar. So we understand he is referring to Krishna, because Krishna carries Chakra, we know, he carries Gata also. And because why? Because Krishna is avatar of Vishnu. So Vishnu has this and that. Now don't worry about the interpretations here. That's not the context. This is not the context for us to go into the interpretation of what is the significance of chakra, what is the significance of gata, all that here. Why he is referring to those two words is we need to understand that only from one angle. That is, Arjuna is a warrior. Warrior. First thing he will see is what? That's why in that even Vishnu Sahasranama, what is the last nama? Sarva Praharanayita. Means what? Fully armed. Why? Because that is the prayer of Bhishma. And Bhishma is a Kshatriya, he is a warrior. Now, if you don't show to him in that form, he cannot understand. He will not relate. Inspiration will not come. So, last one he says, see, finally, it has to be to my appreciation. My appreciation can come only when you have this. Why? You see what you want to see. Arjuna is a warrior. He will not see Shanku. What is interesting is, in the first chapter, Krishna blew the conch. So he was holding the conch. He must be holding it now, with one hand. That he has kept it inside pocket. And now he has taken this in his hand. Weird it looks, Yeah. Remember, Arjuna is a Kshatriya. Kshatriya warrior he is. In his eyes, and he is a royalty. For royalty, crown alone will inspire. It's the symbol of power. The weapons is what he will get inspired. So he is coming back to what inspires Arjuna. That's all you need to see here. Don't worry in which hand he had Shanku, which hand he had this one and all that, chakra. What about other two hands? Why he did describe those two hands? It's not necessary here. All that we understand is only this much. Right. It's a question we have from Clubhouse. Yeah, good. Was the universal form of the Lord known to anyone before Arjuna? Yes. Krishna was the only avatar where pre-distribution of Vishwarupa. Right. Yeah. To anyone and everyone, he will keep showing Vishwarupa. And everyone saw different Vishwarupa.
Depending on what they wanted to see.
Exactly. Because remember, Vishwarupa has got nothing to do with Krishna. It is to do with who is he. As a child, he showed Vishwarupa to Yashoda in Vrindavan or Gokula, whatever the places. There he showed Vishwarupa to her. That Vishwarupa is totally different. Same way, he had shown Vishwarupa to Duryodhana and others when he went as a peacemaker. There also he had shown Vishwarupa. When they want to capture him, arrest him and put him in jail. Because some wise men gave them the advice. How to win the battle. He said, easy way to win the battle is what? Arrest this fellow. He's coming alone. As a peacemaker, he's coming. So he can't take his army with him. Only few, what is that? That security guards will be there. Security guards are easy to handle. You can just shoot them. Arrest this guy and put inside. That's it. Whole country is. Imagine the president, visits to another country. Right?
Yeah,
Arrest people there now. So what will happen now? No. Chaotic, no. So one wise man gave that advice to Duryodhana. Arrest this fellow, put him in jail. That's it. Once he is not there, Pandavas will get scared of you and they will not proceed with war. At that time, he showed one Vishwarupa. That Vishwarupa is totally different. Now he is showing Vishwarupa. Now what Arjuna says, never seen before, as I have seen now. Nobody has seen. So for everyone, it is what? Tailor-made Vishwarupa. Not a wholesale production. All, Levi's jeans. All jeans will be same. In that, 32, all 32 will have the same, hip size, thigh size, that everything. No, Krishna is not like that. Krishna is the tailor. So you give the cloth to him and you ask him how you want. He will stitch accordingly and give it back to you. So he shows the form. It's a unique form seen by Arjuna. And they say there are 4 people who had seen that form. In fact, some of them claim it is 5 also. Arjuna, Sanjaya, Hanuman sitting in the flag, also a seen the Vishwarupa, because it seems that in Ramayana, if you see, in Ramayana, Rama had no Vishwarupa. Only Hanuman had Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa, that darshan he gave to Sita, he gave. Because he thought you are such a small monkey, how can you, these are, Rama bringing fellows like you. Don't worry. I'm a small fellow in my army. I'm an ordinary fellow. So Rama sent me. He genuinely thought he is, a small fellow. That's the time he showed his Vishwarupa to Sita, saying, don't get worried, panicky that, army is really a strong army we have. To give her the confidence he shows. But there is no Rama showing Vishwarupa anywhere. So it seems Hanuman had that desire. See, I want to see your Vishwarupa. Think like, of course, I know what is Vishwarupa. I can take Vishwarupa, huge form. But you take that form, I want to see it. So at that time, Rama had blessed him. Don't worry, I will show you the next avatar. Not in this avatar. Next avatar, I will show you, you will see that. So Hanuman was sitting as the flag, the chariot of Arjuna. Hanuman is sitting there. See, so Hanuman saw. And then Bhishma and Drona also saw. In the opposite army. Bhishma and Drona. So they claim there are 5 people who have seen that, Vishwarupa. The authentic source that we have is the 2, Sanjaya and Arjuna, directly in the Gita. The other things we learn from other texts, or later on in Mahabharata, some of that we get it from Srimad Bhagavatam also. So from there we get it. So we all have seen, the 5 supposed to have seen, but it's not the same form. It's not he is the, suppose if you get to see that universal form, that will be different from what Arjuna saw. That's not possible. You can't get that same again. Repetition will not happen here in the Vishwarupa, because it is dynamic. Remember, it is dynamic, keeps changing, keeps varying, depending upon whoever is seeing. So since there is a difference, the personality of Yashoda is different, the personality of Duryodhana different, personality of Arjuna different. Therefore, that Vishwarupa seen by those people also different. It's not the same thing. So is a universal form of the Lord known to anyone before. There are some other forms also being, referred in the scriptures, but that is different. So Arjuna says, I wish to see you before, as before, how you were before earlier. And to what he is addressing is he is addressing to the Vishwamurti. So he is addressing the universal form. Right. So he says, oh universal form, I don't want this 1000-armed, Sahasra Bhuja. I don't want that. I don't want that one. 1000-armed, I don't want. I want what? Chaturbhuja. BMW and Honda City enough. That's what he says. I can manage up to Honda City, but BMW not possible. I wish to see you that. It's the universal form. Now, what is important here is the tracing back. Okay. See you in the next class. The details.